Database in JFreeChart. Now we are focusing on database. The database represents the source having user input used for creating a dataset in the database. Database, also called electronic database, any collection of data or information that is specially organized for rapid search and retrieval by a computer. Databases are structured to facilitate the storage, retrieval, modification, and deletion of data in conjunction with various data processing operations. A database management system, DBMS, extracts information from the database in response to queries. As an example, we can consider this code segment here. This example retrieves data from MySQL table. Here JDBC category dataset is created here. The interface connection, a connection session with a specific database SQL statements are executed and results are returned within the context of a connection. The connection is interface connection is in the module java.sql and the package java.sql. The class JDBC category database here the declaration is not visible here. This dataset is declared somewhere else, and the class JDBC category dataset, a category dataset implementation over a database JDBC result set. The dataset is populated via a call to execute query string here with the string SQL query. SQL query must return at least 2 columns here. The first column will be the category name and the remaining columns are values for the chart. Each column represents a series. Subsequent call to execute query string will refresh dataset, and JDBC the class JDBC category dataset is in package org.jfree.data.jdbc. Here JDBC category database is dataset is created, and it takes a database connection as a parameter. Here the execute query populates the dataset by executing the supplied query against the existing database connection. As an example 2, we can consider this code segment. Here the interface connection, a connection session with specific database. SQL statements are executed and results are returned within the context of a connection. The interface connection is in module java.sql and package java.sql. The class JDBC Pi dataset, a Pi dataset that reads data from a database via JDBC. And JDBC Pi dataset is in org.jfree.data.jdbc package. Now we are considering sample data in datasets and JDBC. Here a pie chart will be created using this data, for example in a table called pie data 1. To see JDBC datasets in action, you need to create some sample data in a test database. Here is listed some sample data that will be used to create a pie chart, bar chart, and a time series chart. A pie chart will be created using this data in a table called pie data 1. Similarly, a bar chart will be created using this data in a table called a bar chart in this data, for example the table called category data 1. Finally, a time series chart will be generated using this data, for example in a table called xy data 1. You should set up a test database containing these tables. For example, ask your database administrator to help you if necessary. For example, you can create a database JFreeChart DB, but you can change the name if you want to. Here you can see category and value. Here category series 1, series 2, series 3, here X, and series 1, series 2, series 3. Now we are considering creating pie chart data. To create the table for create the table for the pie dataset, first you, while logged in as the database administrator, you can create a test database called JFreeChart DB. Here create database JFreeChart DB. Next, you can create a user, for example, in the JFreeChart. Create user JFreeChart with password, with some password. This username and password will be used to connect to the database via JDBC. So now to create the table for the pi data set, here you can see, and to populate here, so now we are considering the JDBC driver. You can download driver for PostgreSQL from here. To access the sample data via JDBC, you need to obtain JDBC driver for your database. For PostgreSQL, you can download the driver from here, from this web address, http://jdbc.postgresql.org. In order to use this driver, you need to ensure that the jar file contained in the driver is on the class path. Now we are considering JDBC PyChart demo in the demo application. The code for reading the data is in the read data method. The JDBC PyChart demo application will generate a pie chart using the data in the PyData1 table. Providing that you have configured your database correctly. The code for reading the data is in the read data method. The important things to note in the code are the URL used to reference the test database include the name of the test server here, Nomad. You will need to modify this. A connection is made to the database using the username password combination. JFreeChart for password. The query used to pull the data from the database is a standard select query, but you can use any SQL query as long as it returns the columns in the required format. Refer to the JDBC Pi dataset class documentation for details. As an exception example, we can consider SQL exception. If a database access error occurs or the URL is null in method public static connection get connection string URL properties info in class driver manager.